So upcoming Friday nights, me and the degenerate boys that we are, we're coming back with the betting show.
You look at the way he bounces off tacklers, the way that he keeps his eyes downfield, his vision, his ability to find holes, his pass catching ability, right? Because he has.
In my lifetime, I'd put him at probably around the 2 area, with again the only other person up there being King Ricky.
Anthony Richardson or Caleb Williams at the 111.
Yeah.
So just hit us.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of BSing Sports, where we do a little BS and we talk a whole lot of sports. I am your host of today's fantasy football episode, Ryan. You've seen me every week, and back with us after a little bit of a hiatus there, Mr. Jake Bergman.
Yeah.
I recognize him from last night's show. Jake at BSing Sports Bets. Thank you for posting all of the plays that I send you. How's it going, bud?
It's going, man. I'm ready for today, though. Big day.
Yeah, I didn't do so well yesterday. I lost about $20.
I did not do so hot either.
Yeah, no, you lost more than $20. But
just a little bit.
We are here to redeem ourselves today. We've got some plays out. Jake will post them in a minute. But right now we're here to talk fantasy football. And I've got banners of all the questions, but I got another one right as we were going live. So if you are tuned in, I promise I'm going to answer this one first. There's no format. It just says choose one. Keon Coleman, Alec Pierce, or Christian Watson. We'll just assume PPR.
Oh, you go Coleman.
Well, I go Pierce.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me hear it.
Higher ceiling.
Higher ceiling. Okay, but I mean
probably equally as high ceiling. I wouldn't say higher, but it's there. With Flacco under center, that's something that I want a piece of.
Okay. I get it. I totally get it. But to me, Coleman.
I think Christian Watson's pretty comfortably in third here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because you just don't know what you're going to get with that guy.
Yeah. And not necessarily his fault. Plays on a crowded football team. So I'm going Pierce. He's going Coleman. I don't necessarily disagree with Coleman. Just, yeah. So the first question I got asked this morning, and I tried my best to answer all of these before we got on. PPR, one flex. Downs, McConkey, Amari Cooper, Jordan Addison, Rashad White.
Downs.
I think that's who I said too.
Downs solely for the fact that when he plays with Flacco, I mean, even last week with AR, he put up numbers. He is a great slot receiver, and I see a very negative game script right now for the Colts going into this game, so I see them having to throw a lot, and Downs is the play here.
Yeah, I'm also taking Downs here. It's pretty close between Downs and McConkey. McConkey's going to come on the last couple of weeks, but as far as the rest of the names go, Jordan Addison doesn't really move the needle for me. He's probably the lowest on this list, and then right ahead of him is Rashad White, who has a great floor now that Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are out, but I question the ceiling somewhat. I think Nate Otton's going to have a big game there for them. Amari Cooper, new team, touchdown dependent, fantasy start to being with Buffalo. So for me, it was between Downs and McConkey. I went with Downs here. We've got a question in the comments. This looks like a dynasty question. 2025 first late, 2025 second, early to mid for K-Dot and Zay Flowers.
I take that.
You take what?
I take
You take the players?
Yeah, I take the players.
Yeah. I probably, if I'm contending, I'm taking those players.
Yeah, just solely based off of those are players that are going to stay. They are young. And, Zay Flowers was a first last year. I think he's kind of a second right now.
Yeah, I think he's probably worth a late first again. So to me, that's just kind of like a wash. But
yeah, and then Cade Otton has just caught fire this year. He was good at the end of last year, was consistent. But lately with Godwin out and Evans banged up, Cade Otton should be worth a second easy right now.
Yeah, early second is probably a little strong for me, but again, if I'm contending and I need a tight end, he's probably in a good position to where he needs a tight end because tight end's been a shithole this year. If you're rebuilding, would you take the picks or should I move the 25-second to a late first? If I'm rebuilding, I'm taking an early second for Cade Otton. Like, I think Cade Otton's in a great spot right now with Evans and Godwin missing time, but I don't think Cade Otton is some kind of world beater who's going to consistently be, a tight end one. I just don't believe in him in such a talent. So I would take a 25-second for him.
I agree. Ooh.
Ryan H. on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, Ryan. Please go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Stafford or Geno for half PPR? Questions like this crack me up because it's out of habit, but I'm going to assume that the half PPR doesn't really affect the value of Stafford or Geno.
No, we appreciate you putting half PPR just because some people don't, and we don't know the formats. So
sure. And Geno or Stafford could catch a touchdown, and that half point could make all the difference in the world. So, Jake, what are your thoughts on this one?
For me, this is simple. Stafford's more consistent. Geno has put up the numbers, but without DK Metcalf, that offense has not looked consistent at all. And I think they're going to run the ball a lot more today, especially since it's going to be raining. So give me Stafford over Geno. He should have Puka Nacua and cutback, and he's just more consistent, solid floor.
I'm taking Stafford as well. Better matchup. Nacua sounds like he's going to play. Don't know to what capacity, but he's got Cup. That's all he needs. ZT Combat on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, man. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Leggett or Odunze at flex. I'll take the lead here. I'm taking Odunze at flex. I know that with Deontay Johnson out of town, it's like, okay, somebody has to catch passes from the Panthers, but I am balking at Bryce Young, who, yes, did show improvements last week. I need to see. Once is not a habit. Once is not a trend. Once is not a talking point. I need to see it again. And just because, Leggett looks like he might be the number one isn't always the case. There's a lot of Jalen Coker fans out there right now. Chuba Hubbard's going to get some work going on. So I need to see some proof first, whereas Odunze's at least tied to an ascending quarterback.
Yeah, I like Odunze here as well. He has actually put up a fantasy top wide receiver 1 fantasy day, like week 3 or 4. And in that offense, anybody can score a touchdown. He's going to be throwing the ball a lot, Caleb Williams. And so give me Odunze over Leggett, who hasn't done anything this year. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. ZT Combat has another question. Bo Nix or Kirk Cousins? This is a close one for me.
It is. And Ryan, go ahead and take it away because you know my answer. And I'm not even biased about it, but it's going to sound biased.
I don't have any Kirk Cousins shares, so I'm trying to put myself in their position to
going against Dallas.
I know who Kirk Cousins plays, but
just trying to fill the empty void of silence that's going on over there.
I mean, you could give your take.
My take is you take Bo Nix here going against the 30th ranked offense or pass defense, and in the possibility of a negative game script, he has the rushing upside unlike Kirk Cousins, and he has looked great the last month. He has put up 20-plus fantasy points in 3 of his last 4 outings. The only one was against the Saints where all they did was run the ball. So for me, you put Bo Nix out there. Kirk Cousins is playing against – is Micah Parsons back?
Does it matter?
I mean, a little bit because Kirk Cousins can get happy feet at his old age with the Achilles. So
I don't know that Michael Parsons has anything to do with that, but
no Parsons. But nope. I don't think you go wrong. But give me Bo Nix here just with what he's done in fantasy right now.
I'll take Nix as well. I think, I'll take Nix as well. It's pretty close for me. It's a pretty good spot to be in, but negative game script. I think the Ravens are the third. They allow the third most fantasy points to quarterbacks, so it's a pretty good spot for Bo Nix with the rushing upside. I'm gonna lean Bo Nix there.
And Kirk Cousins, I think they're gonna run the ball just solely because they have Bijan, they have Algier, and the Cowboys can't stop the run. So
speaking of Kirk Cousins.
Okay.
Kyler Murray or Kirk Cousins?
Murray.
Cousins or Mahomes?
And then Cousins.
Yeah, that's what I had. Those were pretty easy for me. Yeah, let's talk about Patrick Mahomes here for a second. I had him at the bottom, but because we talked about this one right now, let's talk about Patrick Mahomes. What do you do with Patrick Mahomes?
You just hold on to him. Look, he's having an off year, which is totally fine. But what he's done in the past doesn't go buy him in fantasy. You can buy him probably the lowest value he will ever have. He's going to throw the ball more when he has receivers. He needs to get comfortable with Worthy. He still has Kelsey, but Rice being out hurts. They just got D-Hop, who I think is going to take over Rice's role and be the consistent slant guy. So the numbers are going to be there. D-Hop has great hands. And so for me, you buy low right now on Patrick Mahomes.
So in various formats, let's assume one QB redraft. I wouldn't drop Mahomes, but he's not startable. You can't play him.
Oh, no. There's too many options in one quarterback leagues.
Yeah. So that's easy. One quarterback dynasty, again, holding him, but I'm probably flexing other quarterbacks in there. I'm not playing him. Super flex is where it gets interesting. I'm selling Patrick Mahomes just at this point, because to what you just said, it's the name, right? People are expecting Patrick Mahomes to turn it around eventually. People are, he is arguably the best quarterback of this generation, best quarterback in the NFL right now. So people are really holding on to that real life name to have Patrick Mahomes make a turnaround. Let me remove the name for a second. If I told you that a guy has had one top 10 finish in the last 18 weeks of fantasy football, what would you do with that guy?
Oh, yeah, no, you definitely dump him.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't dump him, but you would change the value. However, you probably talk to people, they still think Patrick Mahomes is a top 5 dynasty QB. He's just not.
I don't think anybody thinks that right now, honestly.
I think there's a lot of people that think that.
Really?
So you saying you would buy Patrick Mahomes is actually like the epitome of why I would sell him, because if you're willing to pay for Patrick Mahomes, I'm willing to sell at Patrick Mahomes instantly.
Yeah, but what is your price? That's the question.
Oh, it'll take multiple firsts. See, the thing about Patrick Mahomes is it absolutely would. It 100% would. And I'll tell you why, because of job security, safety, good floor. You'd have to get multiple firsts to get Patrick Mahomes. But not like high. You're not paying 101, 102. But you're not going to get Patrick Mahomes for 112. That's just never going to happen.
No. I'm just saying, I'll give you a first and a second, but multiple firsts, no.
Well, you'd have to, right? First off, he's not that old. He's 29. He's got 5-6 years left. Secondly, he's the safest quarterback in the NFL, right? He's never going to lose his job. He's never going to lose his job. Why'd you say that?
Well, because we got guys playing into their 40s now, and you just said Patrick Mahomes is only going to play to 35. It's fine.
Well, before his value starts decreasing year over year, it's like the Derrick Henry effect. Once Derrick Henry hit 28, didn't matter what he did, his value was going down.
Yeah, but he continues.
Oh, I didn't say he was bad. I'm saying this is the reality of dynasty football. When Patrick Mahomes hits 35, no matter how he plays year in, year out, his value is going to go down. That's just the way it is.
Fair enough.
But yeah, one top 10 finish in 18 weeks. If I can get 2 late firsts for Patrick Mahomes, I'm probably doing that. It's time to stop looking at the name. It's time to start realizing that you can get, some top 5 to 7 quarterback, value for Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes. Jake did throw me a fucking dime at Fantasy Football Expo. And mind you, this is since week 8 of last year, right? So you can't use the Rice excuse, because since week 8 last year, Rashee Rice was on fire, right? Yep. He was one of the best receivers in the NFL at that point. He had Travis Kelce. He had Isaiah Pacheco. So he had all his guys. I think it's time that we start realizing that potentially Patrick Mahomes' QB1 on the season ceiling was tied to Tyreek Hill being on the team. So if you can get top 5, 7 quarterback prices still. I bet you if I check Keep Trade Cut, he's probably still top 7. If you can get those prices for him, I'm shipping him out. He's gone. Goodbye. He's just not the fantasy asset that matches his name in real life, and it is what it is. Creates perfect selling opportunities. So you're buying Patrick Mahomes. Go ahead and explain why.
I mean, I would, just solely because he has put up numbers in the past, and I don't see that changing. The offense right now is just based around running the ball and playing great defense, but they're not going to pay all their defensive players because they paid Mahomes. And so eventually it's going to be Mahomes having to throw the ball more. And they're going to have offensive weapons next year. I just see this being a down year to buy him and him coming back up and performing well.
I completely disagree, but that's why I want to change the thumbnail. If it was just this year, I'd probably say I'm on board, but it's not. The evidence is there when Rice was hot, when Kelsey was still producing, when Pacheco was running over people. When the offense as a whole was good, the evidence is still there.
Offense wasn't having to do a whole lot when the defense was only allowing.
But the offense was good last year.
They were, but I'm just saying, like, you run the ball more when your defense is good.
Sure.
That's Mahomes doesn't have to throw the ball 40 times a game.
We're talking about last year where he threw the ball 40 since week 8 last year. He threw the ball 35 or more times in 6 of those games since week 8 last year.
So 1/3 of the games.
I didn't include this year. That's just last year. So more than half.
Okay. Well, fine. We will agree to disagree.
Yeah, it's the outlook is bleak for Patrick Mahomes, to be honest with you. If he can only produce one top 10 fantasy week last year with how on fire that offense was at that point, I don't know what else is going to happen. Jerry Bagshaw comments, thanks for tuning in, Jerry. Minshew, Bryce Young, or Mason Rudolph? Oh, my God.
Is there an option of none? Do you have to play those guys?
Yeah.
Shit. I think you go Minshew here.
I do too, and that's real scary to say.
You go Minshew just because the Bengals have a possibility of just running that score up, and you see them passing the ball more. And he does have Trey Tucker who could take the top off the defense. Myers is back, and Myers has produced as a fantasy weapon in the past. So, yeah, I take Minshew here just because Bryce Young hasn't done great, and Rudolph is
ass.
Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, he's terrible. 0.5 PPR start, 1 wide receiver, 1 running back, 1 flex. And then we've got a whole team listed. Zay Flowers, Michael Pittman, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Cedric Tillman, James Cook, Chase Brown, Austin Eckler, Chuba Hubbard, Tyrone Tracy. Who's the wide receiver? Let's start there.
Flowers. Yeah, let's go. Wide receiver, I'm taking Pittman here. Flowers is going up against Denver's secondary, who is elite. JSN has boomer bust potential here with DK out. Tillman's going up against a great Chargers defense right now, so I don't like that. So yeah, give me Pittman, who has put up wide receiver 1 numbers and has a consistent quarterback right now in Joe Flacco.
Yeah, it's Pittman for me as well. It's pretty close in my opinion. Zay Flowers, yeah, going up against Denver, but Jalen Coker last week just put up an 18 spot on Denver, so I guess anything's possible. JSN is also fairly close for me after watching the Rams get beat in the slot by Justin Jefferson, who is obviously significantly more talented than JSN, but nonetheless still a slot receiver. There's a possibility that he could see enough volume to be fantasy relevant this week, but it's Michael Pittman.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's
Please
the
don't
only.
Forget to like and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate everybody watching right now and all the questions we get. But as far as running backs here, you go James Cook, and then you put Chase Brown in the flex.
Yeah, see, those 2 names jump off to me, but like Hubbard's got a good matchup, Tracy's got a good matchup. Like this is a tough one. I might go Chase Brown and Tyrone Tracy.
Taking Cook out?
Yeah, that's a tough sit for me, but I mean, They're all tough sits, right? I think Tyrone Tracy has like 15 or more PPR points in like the last three of the last 4 games or something like that, including a couple 20 spots. Like he's in a great matchup. It's tough, man. You can't really go wrong.
Well, if that's the case, then you go James Cook and Tracy. But yeah, it's either James Cook and Chase Brown for me, or you do throw in Tracy there.
See, Miami's defense has been like really good minus last week. So I just don't know. I'm not. That's a tough one. But yeah, I think James Cook is the most talented back here. But if I'm playing the matchups, I'm going Chase Brown and Tyrone Tracy.
Our boy Rob in the comments said take Pittman, Cook, and Tracy.
Yeah, he said take Pittman, Cook, and Tracy. That's a good one. I didn't realize Tim Hawkins asked a question.
Yeah, we hadn't got there yet.
Which 2 are you starting? Flacco, Goff, and Nix, and Caleb Williams or Darnold?
You start. Oh man, you start. Fuck.
Man, it is. Oh, geez.
Do I have to pick between Williams and Darnold and then pick between the other 3?
Yeah, my assumption is the way it's asked, it's probably 2 different leagues if I had to guess.
Okay, yeah. Give me
like I want to say Knicks, but like it's
just for rushing upside.
It's such a hard sit for Goff. Like that offense is just crazy. Like to throw for 85 yards and have a 21 fantasy point week is nuts.
Oh man. I really do.
I'm gonna lean Knicks for the first one. That I mean, we're not not like Michael Jackson lean. We're talking like this is we're barely leaning, not doing the lean with it, rock with
PA appointment back lean. Like that's about how leaning I am on that one. Ugh. And then you go Caleb Williams here, just based off of he can rush, and I see against the Cardinals him being able to put up fantasy points here, like everybody else has done at quarterback.
Yeah, I'm expecting a bounce back week from Caleb Williams. Give me Caleb. That's a tough one too. Those are good questions.
But honestly, I feel like you can't go wrong with any of those options.
Yeah, no, those are all pretty good options. Kyle Singer on YouTube. Thanks for tuning back in, Kyle. Full PPR, Love or Cousins?
Dobbs, McMillan, Bengals and Chargers.
I'm going Love, Dobbs stack.
Yeah, Love's playing, so give me Love right now. Dobbs as well. Just stack them because they have
potential. Chargers defense.
And then, absolutely, you go Chargers defense. Against the Ravens secondary last week, Jameis should have had 2 more interceptions instead of 2 touchdowns. The Chargers defense aren't going to make those mistakes.
Not making that mistake.
Yeah, and so give me the Chargers easy.
Rob Oldham, thanks for tuning in on YouTube. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, please. Ramondre Stevenson, James Conner, Brian Robinson, JSN, Hopkins, Judy. Pick 2 running backs, 1 flex, full PPR. I think this guy might have asked me this question on Twitter.
Well, we appreciate you coming into the chat.
Yeah, we appreciate that. That is huge. So 2 running backs, Stevenson, Connor, Brian Robinson.
I'm going Stevenson for sure.
Yeah.
And then you go
Brian
James
Robinson.
Conner. Ooh.
Actually, you know what? Looking at the rest of this, I'm just taking the 3 running backs.
Yeah, you go to the 3 running backs here. It's been a running back league all year, and this is the way you want to do it.
Yeah, I'm taking all 3 running backs there.
JSN is a good possibility, but that's boom or bust potential. You can either get.
I've seen something from all those running backs. I haven't seen a lot from JSN yet.
Oh, it just came out?
Brian Robinson is out, huh?
No, is he?
Oh, yeah. He is inactive. Wow, that screws me in a couple different leagues.
Yep, once the show's off, I got to go look at some leagues.
So go ahead and start JSN instead of Brian Robinson.
Yep. Start the 2 running backs. That one made it easy for you. And then start JSN.
How many leagues do I have Brian Robinson in?
We appreciate you, Rob, answering at all the guys in the chat. Always. And thank you, ZT, by the way, for that, because we are doing this show, so we did not get that update. And
I got that update 3 minutes ago. I'm just locked into helping other people out. But yes, thank you.
That's what I'm saying. I got the update, but we're not watching our phones right now.
Oh yeah. Thanks for helping out as always. Love it when the chat's getting involved there.
I'm gonna bring this up real quick. I feel the Chiefs are always one play away from losing the game. I love it, Gingy. I love the tinfoil hat. The refs are in for the three-peat, buddy. For sure.
Okay, let me make sure I'm benching the right guy.
Amari Cooper's inactive too. Just came out. Now that I gotta look at my phone. What other questions do we have?
Amari Cooper is inactive. All right, so next one, non-PPR, Kyle Pitts or Evan Ingram?
Non-PPR, with how banged up the Jags are, I go Ingram.
That's what I said as well. That was a pretty tough one for me because I feel like Kyle Pitts is more big play. Yeah. But to a certain extent, even in non-PPR, volume can make a difference. Like if you're just getting the ball a ton.
Gotcha. J816. You're going to put... Okay.
No.
No?
Stop. Bad.
Okay,
Jake.
buddy.
Bad Jake.
I feel like chat should come priority to anything in the banners, but that's just me.
Well, it's not your show.
Raj.
PPR. Chase Brown, Tyrone Tracy.
That's tough. Give me Chase Brown here just solely because he's going to be the running back there, and Singletary is going to get some snaps against Tyrone Tracy. So with me thinking that the Bengals are going to win this game against the Raiders, you go Chase Brown here.
I also lean Chase Brown. Very, very slightly. It's a very, very, very good problem to have. J816 Dog. Sup, homies?
No.
Pray you well. Jacobs or Tracy or Devontae Smith for my flex. If this is PPR, I'm taking Devontae Smith.
Yeah. Devontae Smith has consistently put up like 15 points every week minus like 1.
Yeah, and with Dallas Goedert out, he gets more involved. So
yep.
But Jacobs if it's anything other than full PPR, I'm taking Tyrone Tracy.
Half PPR, he says.
Tyrone Tracy.
Then yeah, go Tracy.
Yeah. Jacobs is in for a tough matchup there.
And he's banged up, so that's kind of the way I look at it.
I feel like Jacobs is always banged up.
Yeah, fair enough. But he always plays, always produces. That is his thing. Okay. No worries, Jay. We appreciate you commenting, bud.
So I've got a start sit question now. Okay. So I swapped Tyler Lockett into my lineup once I heard that old buddy was just out, Brian Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
So now I need a wide receiver. Sterling Shepard, Devon Vele, Trey Tucker, Parker Washington.
It's between Vele and Parker Washington for me. Parker Washington with everybody being hurt right now and everybody going to be game time decisions, I think is the play. Vele has put up 11 fantasy points in 2 of his 3 outings this year.
And he's got a great matchup.
And he does have a great matchup. So
I could also move Lockett into a wide receiver spot and start Zach Charbonnet, but I don't know how I feel about that. Kenneth Walker is the guy.
That he is.
SC Biantone. My bad. Romeo Dobbs or Jaden Reed? Full PPR. It's Reed. It's not.
Yeah, you go Reed. Just
that ceiling, that upside is crazy.
Yep, absolutely. I agree with that one. Dobbs last week has done well, but Reed is the vocal point. They scheme him open and scheme him plays. So
yeah, and if you're watching on YouTube, please go ahead and subscribe. We appreciate all the questions coming in. Rufus Harrell on Twitter. Hubbard a better play this week than Jacobs? I think so.
Yeah, I think Hubbard is the play because they don't want Bryce Young to be throwing the ball 40 times. The Saints defense is banged up in the middle, so Hubbard's been going nuts outside of last week against Denver, which has a very good front seven. So give me Hubbard here as the better play there, Rufus. Appreciate you, bud.
Lance Dominguez, thanks for tuning in. Any news on Puka? I have him or McConkey, Ridley or Douglas. I'm starting McConkey. It's a little bit safer for me. And I think that matchup's fairly good.
I think I saw something that Puka is going to be on a snap count this week.
I think they said that last week, too. I don't know how much I'm buying it, but nonetheless, I think just, if I need a safe play, then trying to make a playoff run. Hey, me too, man.
I
think we're all there right now.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, I'm playing McConkey. I think I know what I'm going to get out of him versus what I'd get out of Puka. He went off last week, could very easily go for one catch and play 10 snaps this week. I don't know. That's a situation I'm kind of staying away from until Puka gets a little healthier.
Yeah, I think McConkey is the play here. He's only been getting more and more targets with everybody hurt and no true wide receiver one on that team. He's looking more and more like that. You like to see the consistency there. And Puka with missing practice, like leaving because of the same knee injury, you just go McConkey just solely off of, volume that he's getting right now.
Yep. Jesse Winchester, thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Flex, Brian Thomas Jr., Cedric Tillman, Nick Chubb, TJ Hawkinson. He says full PPR. This is pretty easy for me.
Who are you going?
Brian Thomas Jr.
Is he playing?
If he's playing, he's the go-to. If not, it's Cedric Tillman.
If he's playing, he is the go-to, but that is a 3:00 game, so you might not.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. You're in the middle of the country. I was like, 3:00. I was like, what is he talking
I guess
about?
it would be a 4:00 game for you. It's Giovanni, our Italy boy. Hey, that card will get to you sometime this year. But
answer the question.
I don't know, dude. This is rough. Just for shits and giggles, go Hawkinson.
Yeah, he's like the least favorite on the list for me. I know he's a great matchup, but
he's back. Go Hawkinson. Have a little fun.
What do you think about Kelsey versus Ferguson? Will Ferguson have a big game today? I mean, he could, but I'm still playing Travis Kelsey over him.
Yeah, you don't take Kelsey out of your lineup, especially right now with what he's done the last few weeks. He is the number one target there. He gets all the catches, gets all the yards. Yeah.
Giovanni, as Jake said, thanks for tuning in, bud. Appreciate it. I'm doing good today. I am doing good. Cooper and Brian Robinson being announced out, throwing a little bit of a wrench into one of my leagues, but nonetheless, we'll get it figured out. Rob's still hanging around. Appreciate it. So would you start JSN or Cedric Tillman over Puka? I might start JSN over him.
Yeah, you start JSN. Cedric Tillman going up against the Chargers defense, going up against Samuel. It's a tough matchup for him.
Yeah, I'd probably go a little safer and play JSN. Hello from Italy. Yeah, hopefully, the card will get to you in a few weeks. Thanks for tuning in, man. It's huge that we got somebody from Italy watching our show. Tim Hawkins on YouTube. Thanks for checking in, Tim. So Jalen Reed or BTJ, I'm assuming Jaden Reed. I would have played Jaden Reed even if BTJ was healthy. So this is a very easy one for me.
Yeah, you go Reed right now over BTJ being hurt. If not, it's a more interesting question. And I could see you playing either one, but BTJ, with him being questionable, you go Jaden Reed for sure. And no worries, Rob. We're here for you, buddy. We're here for all the fantasy football questions, just giving the best advice we can.
Yeah, with the information that we have at the time, because as you've seen, we're not future. We can't tell the future. People just go out for no reason.
True.
Damn you guys. Hopefully I still win in that league. I kind of need the dub.
What league?
It's Friday Night Lights.
Oof. Yeah, same.
PPR, London or Neighbors?
Neighbors.
I did already ask the question. The other two receivers are Chase and Jefferson. One flex league. I was like, wow.
You go Neighbors here.
Yeah, that's what I said. London's good. Neighbors, good matchup, and he's an absolute target hog.
Yep.
Half PPR start 2. Alexander Madison, Devin Singletary, Justice Hill, Jaleel McLaughlin, Jerome Ford.
Start 2. I'm starting.
This was an easier one for me too, but I am curious to see who you say.
You start Madison just because he's the matchup there, and then you go. Fuck.
Right.
Yeah. I want to say you go half PPR. You go with who's getting to rush the ball more. And Jerome Ford.
I picked Justice Hill.
It's interesting for sure.
Tough front 7 for Denver. May not be a ton of room for Henry to maneuver, and Justice Hill, I think, has the most touchdown upside out of all the other names. He's like annoyingly involved.
Yeah, I could say the same thing about Jaleel McLaughlin right now. Taking so many carries away and catches out of the backfield. But
my bad. I'm fixing my lineups. Cooper out, Shakir in. Non-PPR, Sutton or Dobbs?
Sutton.
Yep. That was pretty easy for me too. Tracy or Stevenson?
Stevenson.
I went Tracy. I think the matchup's a little better.
Yeah, the matchup is better for Tracy, but I am in love with Stevenson.
If it was Brissett, it would very easily be Tracy, but with Drake May in the lineup, I'm digging some Ramondre Stevenson, but I'm still leaning Tracy here.
Yeah, Tracy is a good spot there.
Sit 1 half PPR. Pollard, Tracy, MHJ.
You're sitting one?
Yeah.
Considering Pollard's hurt right now and might not play, you sit Pollard, but I love his matchup against a terrible run defense in the Patriots. So if he plays...
I think he is playing. I think he is active.
He is active.
I'm playing the running backs.
Yeah, just because the half point.
Yeah, that's easy for me. Need 2, PPR. Xavier Worthy, DeAndre Hopkins, Taysom Hill.
Ooh, doggy, let me tell you what. That's a tough spot to be in. But you go Worthy, he has gotten 8 targets in his last 2 games. And then you take a coin. You say heads Hopkins, tails Hill, and you throw it in the air. And you just say the fates have talked.
And what you do when you flip a coin is you're not looking for the result of the coin flip, because as soon as the coin goes in the air, your stomach will tell you which side you want to win. That's who you go with, right? I took Taysom Hill. And then I really, really, really felt gross about it. But
yeah, absolutely.
Bro, 6. I know what. Yeah, 6. There we go. Bro 6. Thanks for tuning in. Dobbs or Judy? He says full PPR. It's Dobbs.
Yeah, you go Dobbs here, full PPR. If you look, Gary's not getting the target volume that Elijah Moore and Tillman got the last 2 weeks. So, yeah, give me Dobbs here.
Yeah, Judy's dead to me. It is what it is.
Happens to the best of us.
MHJ, Hunt, Chase Brown. I don't know what the context is. This is what was provided.
I'm going Hunt here, just sheer volume that he's been getting.
I went Chase Brown. It's a great matchup, and I think the Bengals win, but it's close, man.
That's rough.
Flex one. Ertz, Pierce, Dowdle, Christian Watson.
I go Hurts here. I know you're going to go Pierce.
I did go Pierce, yeah.
I like Hurts here being the second option.
I like playing with Brian Robinson out. That kind of changes things.
Eckler is a fun play here now that Robinson's out.
I am still going Pierce because I'm playing to win. I'm not playing to not lose. Pick 2: Ridley, Downs, JSN, DJ Moore.
Pretty simple to me. Downs, DJ Moore here.
Yeah, I think that's who I went with as well. I don't remember who I tweeted out because JSN's kind of in that conversation. Ridley's pretty easy to throw out.
Gotcha.
Tight end: Kate Otten or Evan Ingram.
Give me Otten here.
Yeah, I picked Otten for this game, and then he also asks who's better rest of season. I said Ingram.
Yeah, Ingram for the season, Otten for right now. Once Mike Evans comes back in, it's going to be that Evans show. So,
yeah. And then wide receiver 2, Hopkins or Turpin.
Hopkins.
Yeah. The whole thing is gross, but Hopkins it is.
You hate to see that at all, but
Tucker Kraft or Jacoby Myers, half PPR.
Half PPR. I'm going Myers here just because he is the wide receiver 1. Kraft has all those weapons around him. Yes, he's been doing great, but also kind of touchdown dependent. Where Myers, I can see getting 10 targets, 8 catches, and like 60 yards.
Timmy has a question. Olave for White and Njoku, tight end premium. This is an interesting one because Njoku is going to ball the hell out the rest of the season.
Njoku's going to do great, but you go Olave here, especially because I assume it's Dynasty.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's redraft or if it's tight end premium, it's probably Dynasty.
Yeah, so
I also Olave here, but I don't think it's like as far away as, especially if you're contending. Having White and Njoku is real intriguing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Eric Schaefer, I think. Thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate it. PPR, pick 2: Stevenson, Waddle, Etienne, Chuba, Ridley. You can throw out Etienne and Ridley for me.
Yeah, PPR, you're going Stevenson and Waddle for me. I expect a big game from Waddle this week, actually.
I'm probably going Waddle and Chuba, but Stevenson's not necessarily a bad pick either.
Yeah, you can go Chuba, but I just don't trust any part of that offense right now. And so I'm going with the consistency that Stevenson has provided and Waddle with Chuba being back.
Question, what part of your ass did you just pull that last statement out of?
What do you mean?
Because Chuba's running back 11.
No. Chuba's been great.
But you said hold on. You said consistent. Even with Bryce Young, Chuba was still doing good.
I'm pretty sure I said that offense hasn't been consistent.
You said you're picking Stevenson for consistency.
Oh, yeah, what he's done consistent.
He's only running back 23.
Now I got to look this up.
I just looked it up this morning, actually, so I know it's right. But I'm taking Chuba. Give me the RB1. Damn, I wasn't on the live section on YouTube. Did y'all answer my question? Yeah, Tim. Good job. Good job. Proud of you. That's something I would expect from the old man. This question, for those of you that missed it, Olave for White and Njoku, tight end premium. Gonna assume it's a dynasty question. I lean Olave, however, having Rashad White and David Njoku as a contender in dynasty is very, very intriguing.
Alrighty then. Interesting.
Do you have a different answer? Or are you still sticking with Stevenson?
No, I'm still sticking with Stevenson.
Not a bad play this week, especially as we talked about earlier with Drake May.
Mm-hmm.
Timmy says that's on me. No duh.
Yeah, it is,
buddy. Sit one. PPR. Waddle, Pollard, Brian Robinson. Easy question.
Oh, very easy question. You sit up. You're out there, bud.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say, I don't think he has a great game this week, personally.
Yeah, I think Brian Robinson puts up 0 points this week. That might be a hot take.
Yeah, right. Sorry. My boy Monty calling me from the desert.
Deontay or Hubbard?
Oh, Hubbard. Easy. Any format.
Oh. Yitzy tunes in from YouTube. Thanks for coming in, Yitzy. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Why should I start White over Javonte Williams? He's saying that because when he asked White or Williams, I said White.
Man, you go off of volume what White's done consistently, but I don't hate the Javonte Williams play here. But at the same time, you go consistency with White, even though he's not an efficient runner. I see a negative game script against the Chiefs, and he's going to get the volume here. So,
yeah, I think that this is kind of the matchups for me, right? I do expect the Broncos to throw the ball more against a bad Ravens secondary, and Rachaad White has been a PPR monster, in the whole 1.5 games since Mike Evans and Chris Godwin went out. So right. I think White's the play here. Thanks for tuning in. Please go ahead and subscribe. Jay turns in on YouTube. Thanks for coming in, Jay. Brian Thomas Jr., Khalil Shakir, DeAndre Hopkins, Jacoby Myers. Pick one. Let's say it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Shakir.
Yeah.
We finally agreed. Up top.
The man is,
we finally agreed up top. I know you're busy with your show, Ryan, but accept my trade. What do we got here?
You know what? Put it on the show right now. What did Timmy send you? And then we'll let the chat decide.
I know where this trade came from.
Oh, was it his Olave question?
Yes. And we hate running backs. It's funny. The first thing that came to mind was like, I think I have White and Njoku in a league. That's funny.
That's interesting. Are you going to accept that trade?
Oh, I already did.
Oh, nice.
But
oh, hey, look, trade's been completed.
Thanks for tuning in, Yitzy. Love it. Go Cowboys. Oh, God. We still want you to subscribe. Yeah, so Deontay or Hubbard. We got a couple more in here, but as you can see, there's some last-minute changes we have to make. So if you're watching this video, please take a minute. Go ahead, drop us any last-second questions you might have. Sorry if we did not get to your start-sit question on the show today, but I've got things that I actually have to take care of this morning, believe it or not, before football starts. And there was a ton of activity today, which is not a bad thing. Just
we love it.
Yeah, just wasn't ready for it. So thank you guys for tuning in. Please drop any last second questions while Jake and I sit here and talk about
the card we're giving away.
Yeah, our giveaway.
Oh yeah. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, our third giveaway for the football season is going to be this beautiful CJ Stroud rookie patch card. Let's see, get it close there. You can see it. Absolutely beautiful. We're going to make a post about it. All you got to do is follow the instructions on that post, which will be like it, retweet it, tag a friend in the comments. It will put you in for the drawing at the end of the year that we are going to have for the Super Bowl, where you get put in for a drawing for a jersey of your choice, player jersey from the NFL shop. So,
yeah, not some backdoor cheap jersey maker.
Some
team NFL shop. We will, player of your choice. I'm not getting a specialty jersey either. Just get you a regular jersey free of charge to you. All that you have to do is enter into our other giveaways. You don't even have to win them. And from there, we will take care of the rest.
Yep. So give us a like, give us a subscribe on YouTube, and then go follow the post at BSing Sports, or I will be retweeting it if you want to follow me at BSing Sports Bets. And we will get this card giveaway in 3 weeks. So it is, once again, a CJ Stroud rookie patch. You love to see it.
Yep. Jake and I play each other in 2 different leagues this week. So,
Oh, God. What leagues?
Friday Night Lights, and then the ones where we're going to win a steak dinner.
No, okay. That one doesn't matter. But Friday Night Lights actually matters because I have to win that to make a playoff run. So,
yeah, that entire league I feel like is 4-4 or 5-3 or 3-5.
yeah, this week is huge for a lot of teams. But we do appreciate everybody that watched, everybody that commented. Y'all are awesome.
Yep. And we'll be back here next Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Share with your friends. You can share after the season when we go into our off-season stuff, so that way we don't have to give away your secrets to your league mates. And thank you for tuning in to another episode of BSing Sports, where we do a little BS. We talk a whole lot of sports. Go Birds.